Let's now go up to Chicago and check in with William J. Kelly, the reporter out of Chicago. We chat with him on Monday mornings to get a flavor of what's going on in the state's biggest city. And of course, you've got 20 plus shootings that have happened over the weekend. Kelly reporting that even a couple of off-duty police officers were robbed of their badges. He questions where the accountability is and where people are actually being prosecuted and all of these things. But you've also got the ongoing issue of the migrants. And if you recall, last week we chatted with William about the problems with the Brighton Park facility and the toxic chemicals that were found in the soil there, the lack of transparency on that, the overall humanitarian issues, and the taxpayer cost issues. So those continue. Those are issues that are sustained. But William also, he wanted to make sure people were aware of, especially those living in Chicago, how your ability to speak publicly to the city of Chicago seems to be being hindered a bit. Here's some of what William Kelly had to say this morning when talking about the myriad of issues on crime and migrants, but also now when it comes to government accountability.
Well, as you know, better than anyone, we have violent crime out of control. We have a migrant crisis out of control. And this is resulting in citizens wanting to be heard, to attend city council meetings and utilize the public comment section, which, if you recall, I was able to do myself as not only a citizen, but as a reporter who had my media credentials revoked by Mayor Lori Lightfoot. I took advantage of what was already, I thought, pretty limited public comment section where a citizen was allowed to enter a lottery, and if they were one of a handful of people who happened to be picked literally from a fishbowl, then they got the opportunity to get up and speak for 3 minutes. Well, I did this, and I was able to, I believe, not only speak for myself, but for the people of Chicago who their voices were not heard during Lightfoot's entire term as mayor. Well, now Brandon Johnson, who came to the mayor's office promising more open, more accountability, is trying to limit the public comment section from 3 to 1 minute. You need to register 2 weeks in advance in order to attend these meetings. They're moving citizens from the city council chambers to a second or third floor gallery that now has bulletproof glass, like you're entering some kind of like a prison, right? And then you get to talk through the prison hole in the bulletproof glass to your elected officials. I say this is freedom of speech is going in the wrong direction, Greg. And I think it's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. I think that these city council meetings should be considered null and void. And we really need someone to believe me when I say that freedom of speech is under attack in the city of Chicago.
So again, William J. Kelly talking about the process that seems to be under possible change of allowing for citizens to address the city council. Is this being driven, I asked, by people's discontent with the migrant issue, with the lack of resources going to crime, and so on?
100% yes. I think people saw the effect that my 3-minute public comment to Mayor Lightfoot had, and they feel that maybe this is an outlet for them to say that they don't want migrants in their communities, and that they're worried about violent crime. What's really very alarming, Greg, is that in addition to limiting the public comments of citizens at city council meetings, the Chicago City Council is voting this week to expand on hate crime, or a hate crime law that now includes what they're calling hate incidents. They're not crimes, but they want people to report them. And the question is, what constitutes a hate incident? Where they want to track these hate incidents? Where's this database? How are they going to use this information in the future? Will people be able to FOIA and say, okay, here's this person who has 25 hate incident reports against him. Who made these reports? What was the incident? Did he post on Facebook? Was he a guest on the Greg Bishop show? What was the incident that is now in this taxpayer funded, again, millions of dollars, database of hate incidents that aren't even crimes? And here's the problem: the real crimes are going completely zero consequences. You have armed robberies every week, dozens of them, no arrest, no description, no consequences. You have 20 plus shootings, 4 murders in the city of Chicago this weekend. Okay, these are summer numbers. These aren't December numbers in the city of Chicago. Okay, so you have shootings once again, and by the way, you have hundreds, if not thousands, of completely unsolved shootings and murders in the city of Chicago already. And now the Chicago City Council is going to spend millions of dollars tracking hate incidents that aren't even crimes. So, there seems to be, Chicago is in a downward spiral of priorities. They're just not going after the real crime. They're not going after the real, the real crisis of migrants. And yet they want to punish, they want to prevent citizens from speaking at the city council meeting. And now they want to go after people for hate incidents that aren't even crimes. So it is a out of control situation here, where the priorities are really seem to be damning the city of Chicago to failure.
And William obviously is somebody who is there on the streets, talking with people, getting their ideas and their thoughts and their sentiments, and sometimes having his own thoughts and sentiments. So I appreciate him sharing that with us as we chat with him each and every week as to what's going on in the city of Chicago. And that's, of course, going to be an ongoing conversation, not just the crime, not just the migrant issue, but also the access that citizens have to their own government in Chicago. Something I think is important that we put that spotlight on from time to time. It is Bishop on Air. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow along, find some merchandise below if you want to support the show that way as well. But I think a good way to do it is just tell people about you watching Bishop on Air. So we give you kind of a rundown of what's going on in and around the Illinois area. As a reporter for the Illinois State House, tracking down legislation and such. I hope you guys find value in all that we do to cover the Illinois state government here, but also what's going on in Chicago with the latest. So stay tuned. Just one more segment. We'll review some of the laws that Governor J.B. Pritzker signed on Friday, and just take a look at what we've got to really sift through when it comes to all of the laws that are set to take effect on January 1st, just in a matter of weeks. All right, so stay tuned.